Super Idol de Charo, don't need to attend by each for the.
Looks like Overwatch 2 is dead. Overwatch 2 is dead for the 50 billionth time. But let's see what they say in this video now. Yeah, I mean, no, it's not like I love the Overwatch trash talking because they fucking ruined the game, you know. So, gotta keep reminding them. Now, let's see what he has to say. Let's see what he has to say. Yeah, there was a big Overwatch update. It was Stadium and all this other shit. We'll go through it here, but I played a little bit of it. It was like my first time playing Overwatch since Marvel Rivals came out, which is like 6-7 months ago. Yeah. Um, there's been some changes.
This stat will make you feel old. Overwatch is about to have its 10th anniversary. It'll actually be this time next year, which is a little spooky. And when we left off with the game, right, they had reintroduced loot boxes, they made sweeping game changes, and they revealed Stadium. Of course, Overwatch 2 PvE will never happen. Don't even think about it. It's just not realistic. And with so much of that...
It's crazy. Because that would have been like a big reason why a lot of people play. I mean, that was the big reason why people played Overwatch 2 in the beginning, in the first couple months, and then they said, "Oh, we're not doing the campaign anymore." Yeah, the whole reason for Overwatch 2, yeah, we're scratching that, right? We're scratching that. If they're scratching that, they might as well remove the fucking 2 in their name because holy shit.
Their team being axed, it's probably also, well, quite impossible for Overwatch 2 PvE to ever happen. But all the stuff that they did was in an attempt to rehabilitate Overwatch. But for all of that buzz, since it all launched, I haven't really heard much, and that is why I am here today, to work out what the hell has actually happened with Overwatch. Overwatch is a great game, but an awful product. That has been my...
Yeah, essentially, actually, yeah, like, you know, the gameplay... The only reason why I keep coming back is the fucking gameplay for like certain characters is like addicting. Like I have the itch to play Ana, and then also like 6v6 is back for open queue. Kind of. He probably talks about it here, but yeah, I just had an itch for like 6v6 and Ana and like fucking Kiriko and shit, right? You know. So it's just like shit like that keeps me, you know, at least coming back once a year at minimum, right?
Personal TLDR for this one for a long time. The idea being that it's fun, but it's kind of busted by the circumstances of its creation, by the desperate business model stuff over the last few years, and lots of the trend-chasing brand collab skins that just make me feel old and out of touch. Not because I don't like the brands, but because I'd like my Overwatch to be Overwatch, and, you know, not be an advertisement for a bunch of other brands so everyone can make money. Anyway, all of that stuff did kind of piss players off, pissed me off, and pissed off players will not cut you any slack if you're a dev team. So it seems that's what they worked on first, getting the product part under a little bit of control. Now on that front, the Returnal loot boxes basically gave people an incentive to continue playing with only the Battle Pass as a payment. That's definitely a positive. Even the premium crossover cosmetics for WoW and Diablo...
What the fuck is... Okay, anyways. Yeah, I didn't even, like, I logged in and it said loot boxes and I was like, what the fuck am I... Buddy, is it 2018, 2019 right now? What's going on? Am I in a dream? Am I hallucinating? But no, they brought back loot boxes. So honestly, I'm happy for that. That's crazy being happy for loot boxes, but honestly, it's better than the fucking battle pass or the shop that they have. Just fucking, I don't look at any of those things at all. I literally, maybe like 3 times in total, I look at the battle pass per season. Right, this is before I like left Overwatch, and I keep coming back, and I just gain like 20-30 fucking levels. So it's pretty fucking hilarious. But it just shows that I don't give a shit about battle pass shit, bro.
Are being included in the loot boxes as of Season 16. That's pretty good. Now, we're still seeing the same high as hell rate of crossovers with Gundam and Street Fighter, but now the players don't have to pay to get access to anything. They're perhaps a bit more willing to extend Overwatch some good faith. It feels a little bit less like an aggressive relationship. So, that's Blizzard's opening. Let's see how they've tried to exploit it and if it's actually worked. Stadium is the big new feature, and to recap, it's a new mode for Overwatch 2. It takes the 5v5 formula and it breaks it down into 7-round matches. Players basically choose from one of 17 available heroes, and then you play rounds of Overwatch, except that Firstly, right, it's all playable in third person, so that's kind of new. And secondly, every hero can use earned stadium cash to purchase new upgrades that will alter your gameplay style in dynamic ways. Basically, right, it's kind of like the Counter-Strike shop. Right,
Yeah.
you do it in between rounds. There are some neat catch-up mechanics around taking out high performers so that things actually stay competitive. It's kind of neat. It's very much Overwatch's core hero ability formula, but where you're adding in a layer of complexity as you wish as you build out their character. Now, to kind of explain this, Aaron Keller broke it down in terms of 3 player needs that they've tried to hit. The first one is more downtime, like literally the time in between rounds. And that's so that Overwatch isn't just this constant objective brawl that just kind of leaves you tired. You know, you need ups and downs, you need pace. It's something that Counter-Strike.
I mean, like, in terms of objectives, right? Like, it's... You only have 1 CP maps and 2 rounds of it. That's it. I mean, that's pretty quick. And then, like, once you're done with that, like, you can finish that fucking game in, like, less than 5 to 10 minutes. Boom, you're back in the lobby. You can take your break there. But anyways, I played Stadium. I don't have any negative feelings at the moment about it. I only played, like, 1 Stadium match, and we won. We should have lost, but we won. And I played Lucio. I didn't mean to play Lucio, but I played Lucio, and it's okay. Like, the main thing that got me was, like, it's third person, right? Like, they're trying to compete with Marvel Rivals, right? They're trying to go third person. They give you a reason to look at your skins and buy skins, right? Because you play Overwatch as this first person shooter. You buy skins, but you don't see yourself unless you do a fucking emote. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I never really gave a shit about skins. I have a bunch of skins, but I never really gave a shit about them. Got a lot of currency. Got a lot of legendary currency. But yeah, it's just like, it's that. It felt weird as Lucio, because I thought I was going slow as Lucio, but no, I had the fucking speed boost on. And I don't know, it's a weird... It's a weird thing, right? You go from first person for almost a decade, you mastered pretty much all the characters, and you just go to third person. Like, it's kind of weird. So, yeah, it felt kind of interrupted my gameplay a little bit, which is, yeah. Like, wow, it's just changing the camera. But yeah, it did kind of fuck up my gameplay in a way. Like, how I played got me killed a couple times, but... Yeah, because I be thinking I have it on the healing option, but no, I actually have it on the speed boost option. It just feels slow because it's third person. Yeah, so shit like that. I'll grow to love it a bit more. I didn't mean to play Lucio. Like, I meant to play, like, fucking, what was it, Kiriko or some shit? Or whoever the fuck was there. I meant to play somebody else. I didn't mean to play Lucio. They just locked me in on fucking Lucio, right? If you don't choose a character, they choose for you. And then you're locked in for the entire match. Like, you go through 7 fucking matches, could be like 30 minutes. You're locked in on a character, you can't switch.
It does real well. The second thing is to emphasize strategy, and the third is a big one. It's to let you counter your enemies via your upgrade path for your character, rather than just, say, swapping heroes. And for a lot of people,
yeah.
I mean, like me, I just have 1 or 2 characters I really enjoy playing. Being able to counter my opponents via upgrades without having to change, that's actually really good. So, this all sounds quite great on paper, and it's clearly a fairly huge feature, not just like a random new mode like Clash. And here's what makes it interesting. The reality, now that it's actually live and in players' hands. Here's the stat that got me interested in making this video. So, over the first week of Stadium's release, it saw 7.8 million hours of play across 2.3 million matches, and that was approximately 50% of Overwatch's total playtime during that period.
Damn.
So, per playtime, this has had a goddamn humongous release. And broadly, the reaction seems to be consistent engagement with the actual mode. So over here, we've been tracking the responses and, you know, all of that stuff, keeping tabs and things. And the thing that we noticed is that it seems to be one of those quiet success things where players are just enjoying it. They're playing it. Yeah. And that might seem a bit weird, because Overwatch 2 has been in the news kind of all the time, but never for good reasons. It's always been a fresh new form of outrage. So the idea that people are actually just playing a mode in the game, that's not really news. It's not interesting. It's not really talked about. It's not why Overwatch caught on in the media.
Yeah, we're here to talk shit about Overwatch, bro.
Yeah, at least in the modern era. Now, it's not as if everything went perfectly. There were some early issues, stompy matchmaking, some friction with player experiences in the new systems, but after...
Oh, that Moira double fucking ball thing. That's pretty fucking. That's pretty insane. She's definitely meta in that shit, bro. I didn't play her, but I saw her on other team. I was like, what the fuck? That's a that's a lot of balls. That's a lot of balls.
Day, we actually saw the Overwatch team.
Oh, it's also a perk, I think, in like regular mode. You know, because they have perks now, right? I keep forgetting to equip my fucking perk, right? The first, I still be forgetting now. I was about to say the first couple of matches I'd be forgetting, but I still be forgetting to fucking equip that shit. But from where I think you can have like double balls, you know, in competitive mode.
Team addressing a whole bunch of things.
Pretty OP.
And after a week, they were already outlining changes. Keller then confirmed that a build importer and exporter is going to be coming into the game next season, so you can transfer builds alongside crossplay as soon as possible, which is quite a lot.
Oh, so you can have builds? Okay, that's good, because like I'd be forgetting what the fuck. You know, I'd be putting a bunch of shit in manually, right? I mean, that's cool and all, but builds is like having that's cool.
And I think requests like this coming from players are a huge indicator of product market fit, and Blizzard's responses actually seem uncharacteristically, well, fast. They're not normally fast, and the reason why I think is real simple: institutional power and backing. Essentially, this is a game feature that has got backing and buy-in up and down the chain. I mean that, like, structurally within Blizzard. So, in practical terms, that means that while it's not like there's an entire team making a parallel game, Overwatch 2 does have, and I just quote Aaron here, totally separate team of people that are solely devoted to working in Stadium. Now, of course, there are shared teams, like, you know, map
It's the niggas that were working on PvE, bro. It's the niggas that were working on the campaign.
design, hero design, but basically, you get the point here. This is them kind of opening up a new front in the war. And I think that's why their roadmap covers 4 seasons worth of updates, just like the rest of Overwatch. So this doesn't seem to be an experiment. And so far, by the way, that roadmap is new maps, more characters, more abilities, and sub-modes. One of those is a
Lord Jesus Christ. God damn. Are we mid-season right now? I'm guessing we're mid-season, right? Because we didn't, yeah. Wow, okay, so the next season, because I don't really, you know, it's been a while. I've been on Marvel Rivals and fucking RPGs, single-player RPGs lately. Unranked crossplay. I thought that was a thing already, though, right? Unranked crossplay. Like I played with my peeps on Overwatch before, you know, on PC. I swear I did. Okay, well, whatever. Share and save your builds. Nice. New all-star rewards, custom games, more example builds. Okay. Esperanza push, Samoa control. Oh, it's probably just updates to it or something. I don't fucking know. Balance updates and okay, yeah. New Route 66 and London maps. Interesting. Sojourn, Winston, Bridget. New game mode. What the fuck? Halo race. Okay. Stadium trials feature. What the fuck? New all-star rewards, endorsements. Okay. And then you got a new China map for the last one. New heroes every season. Oh. Yeah, they're trying to compete with Marvel Rivals. Yeah, I still don't like that for Marvel Rivals. That'll be another video. I mean, it'll probably. I mean, we're seeing how it goes now, right? I think we're getting Ultron in a week or some shit, right? But like a new fucking Marvel Rivals character every season. Jesus, that's a lot of fucking characters, dude. That's gonna be a lot of fucking characters. Yeah. Consumables, items, system upgrades, and more. In draft mode feature. I don't know what the fuck that is. It's probably new mode, new feature. Okay. Well, we will see. It's gonna be interesting because they're gonna be competing with. I think their seasons are longer than Marvel Rivals, though, so it shouldn't really be a big issue. But they gotta come up with new characters and shit. Marvel Rival characters already exist. They're fucking Marvel characters, right? They got a gajillion of them, so good luck.
payload race that will come with 2 bespoke maps, which seems pretty cool. And what it looks like is a commitment. But I actually would say it isn't just that. It isn't just a commitment. What it is new. This is a new game mode. And yeah, there's inspirations from other games, but this essentially is new creativity. It's a new vision finally coming to Overwatch. To me, that's what makes all the difference. For far too long, Blizzard's modern teams have felt like stewards of other people's successes, right? And when you are just a steward of someone else's success, you get just stuck into tweaking little things here or there, while your players look at your game and think, we're bored, there's nothing new, we don't care. So in that context, with all the bullshit headwinds...
Well, they had like a World of Warcraft Battle Royale or some shit. But they did it like way too late. I think they released that shit like 2 years ago. That shit, even if it was 2 years ago, that's still way too late for the Battle Royale craze, man. Pack it up, Grandpa. Holy shit.
Wonder that's a team that has continually been a day late and a dollar short. But with this, they're creating something new. That's of tremendous signaling value to lapsed players, because it's actually them moving forward on their own terms.
Wait, what?
Signaling value to lapsed players, because it's actually them moving forward on their own terms. Which is, I'll be clear, the only way that they will ever escape from the shadow of PvE being well and truly dead. Okay, you know me, if numbers exist, I've got to take a peek at them. So Season 16, and by the way, I'm using Steam numbers. From what we understand, Steam is a fairly tiny proportion of Overwatch overall. We're just using this as kind of an indicator. So Season 16 launched with a 60k peak, which is neck and neck with Season 15's 59.5k peak. And those peaks are actually of numbers that used to be their weekly norm. I mean, the overall graph really does...
Damn.
Look good, does it?
Damn, would you look at that? Wow. So we go back to May 2020. Okay, so... yeah, yada yada, normal. As soon as Marvel Rivals went down, yo, I mean, it was pretty obvious that was gonna happen, right? There's a whole like, at least once, like if I play, Marvel Rivals for like 1 day, there's at least one match with like a motherfucker that played Overwatch, at least minimum. But it's probably like half the lobby each time I play, right? It's a lot of Overwatch motherfuckers in there. Yeah, this dude was like, oh, you go talking about fucking Junkrat. I'm like, what, nigga? Play your fucking Invisible Woman. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, that's a big drop from November, and they had a season also like come out, or like I think this was when the 6v6 tests were going on. Yeah, so there was like a little hump, but then right after that it just went yeah.
But, as anyone in software as a service will tell you, churn is king, retention is king. And that's where this season is looking, at least initially, a little bit different. So, you know the way that movies are tracked in terms of their week-to-week box office drop? Well, Season 15's week 1 to 2 drop was 41.66% in peak numbers. Season 16's is 33.19, which is drastically lower. But there's a problem. That's just peak numbers. If you're to ask, what about the averages? Well, the data is early, but at least right now, the average player numbers do seem to be stronger. And overall, it is too early to call this a success. But if retention numbers appear to be better, whilst 50% of playtime is going towards the new mode, then that certainly is a good sign. What it also can be is a pressure valve. You see, Overwatch has suffered from trying to please everybody, right? With broadly the same sort of game mode.
Yeah.
Stadium arriving and being a better fit for a sizable chunk of players will help to ease that tension. I mean, already we've seen character changing perks.
That May shit is actually insane. I need to play as May, bro. That shit, fucking. I was like, what the fuck is a fucking snowball or a big ass boulder doing on the fucking field, bro? It's fucking May.
And be well received. Plus patches to introduce and adjust those things as the feedback comes through. That's fairly agile looking, pretty good. Meanwhile, over in ranked, well, pick bans and map voting have seemingly reinvigorated some interest. Not a transformational amount, but hey, some. And across both, there's now a 6v6 queue that's attracted a 25% pick rate, and so it's actually getting to stay around after a few months of testing out.
Well, they need to switch that shit. Okay, so Stadium shit, the numbers getting higher average of players. That's not surprising because that Stadium shit got me playing. That was pretty much a big update. That's a pretty big mode, right? It's pretty much, I was hearing they were bringing back like the PvP perks, putting them into the game, not the PvP, but the PvE campaign perks into the game. I think that's one of the main things that got people. I mean, obviously, because it's in the stadium mode, but it's also in the regular gameplay now. Like, perks are pretty much the way of life now. Some quick play, I think. I don't play quick play. Again, I play comp. That's the only thing I play. It's in comp. Yeah, so that's a pretty good feature. And then you also got Stadium. You got the new character, yada yada. So, not surprising. In terms of the 6v6, oh my god, I'll probably make a separate video on it. But like, I don't know why the fuck some dude actually asked for like another tank, right? Because we had like 2 tanks already, but you can't do another tank. You can't do another tank in 6v6, right? Open queue. It's technically not even open queue anymore if we're limited to only 2 tanks. Why the fuck are we limited to only 2 tanks? Because of the babies crying, oh, they're going goats gap, and then I don't care. It's fucking open queue, bro. You're supposed to do whatever the fuck you want. It ain't open queue now. You fucking just put that shit as fucking closed queue. Because, bitch, that shit is closed. No goats anymore. Goats comp does not exist anymore, bro. It's a GG. It's a wrap. Just can't do that shit. Pretty crazy. Right? You bring back 6v6, you would think you'd be able to play goats comp, but you can't. You can't have another tank in there for some reason. Fucking stupid.
And tweaking. Now, none of those things are generating the buzz that Stadium is able to generate. But what they do kind of represent is the foundations being stronger. And that's probably all playing into why Blizzard have opted to bring BlizzCon back for 2026 and not 2025. Nothing impacts the future of a game more than the conditions under which that game is made. So, why did Overwatch 2 happen? I think the answer is, in many ways, tension. Because on the one hand, the Overwatch devs wanted to crawl themselves towards their cancelled MMO called Titan. On the other hand, Bobby Kotick was personally invested in pushing the Overwatch esports. That was a recipe for disaster. Now, though, we have a new, perhaps slimmer Team 4 that at the very least is not left cobbling together a sequel from components of a dead PvE game that they tried to make without proper support from their C-suite. Because that's how Overwatch 2 happened. They cobbled it together in no time, and this is all happening without C-suite mandates around esports, which, to jog your memory, was absurdly overhyped at the time and was something that Bobby Kotick had, Eye of Sauroned himself over to and seemingly latched onto from a lot of reporting. Seriously, people on the Overwatch team really seem to have hated Kotick. And while many of those
They ain't like him at all. They hated that nigga. They hated him, bro.
staff members will never see the thing that they wanted in the game.
I've been seeing people doing like Jeff Kaplan, right? I mean, Jeff, like last year, there's now like random reports of, oh, Jeff Kaplan was the bad guy. I don't think so. Maybe he was, but from everywhere in general, right, outside looking in, from other insiders and shit, just this randomly popping up is very random. From his actions and stuff, it seemed like he was the only good guy, the only sign of hope, and he left.
At least to me, Stadium is this new team progressing from stewardship to authorship. That's where I think there's a fairly significant change. And it's one that we can contrast with Apex Legends, right? Because Apex feels like managed decline. And the best way to dispel feelings of managed decline, funnily enough, is to ship new content that doesn't feel like it's an old thing that's been cheaply thrown into the microwave. In shipping Stadium, that is what they have done. Now, this is by no means a guarantee that Overwatch 2, line go up, and it's all going to be good in the future, right? It's not a guarantee of that. But I do think it marks a changing point. And if you want to understand just how bad EA's situation is and why the Apex Legends players are very much not happy, well, watch our report on that situation next.
Ooh, Apex Legends. My friend plays that game. I played it a couple times with friends. It's more so like, whenever I play Fortnite now, I only download that bitch, or I only play it whenever my friends ask, right? Otherwise, I don't play it at all. I don't care. I'm tired of the Battle Royale format, bro. It's goddamn annoying. Alright, anyways, W video. Stadium is definitely I gotta play it more, but it definitely is enjoyable in a sense, right? I can't wait to play May and fucking Moira, because that shit looks cracked as hell. Uh, at least when the enemies were beating my ass, right? Because they had a May and Moira. But anyways, yeah, W video. I pretty much agree with everything here. Is it dead? It's after Marvel Rivals, right? Like we're 6-7 months going on 7 months in. Um, it's been pretty steady, right? It's been pretty steady, and you have people like me who are now just finally going back to Overwatch, right? Seeing how it is, and then boom, they got this big ass update, right? So it's keeping me like I'm gonna probably log in right after recording this video. Um, but yeah, I think Overwatch, can it climb out of its hole? Can it have the battlefront fucking return like it is right now? Thank God. I still be going back to Battlefront, but I'm actually happy that it's coming back. Oh my god, I'm so fucking happy for that. I'm probably gonna re-download it later. Because now people are talking about, oh, there's gonna be Battlefront 3. Yeah. I mean, one of the devs said there might be, but anyways, yeah. So we'll see. It's looking a bit better from Overwatch, thank God, because I was like, there's like no hope for this game if you're asking for anything else, or you're hoping for anything new out of the, they have to make Overwatch 3 to get big numbers again, right? Like they can do the same thing they did to Overwatch 2, quote unquote. The fucking put a 3 next to it, boom, you get like a bunch of people back into playing the game, right? Just like, you be having games, get new games coming out, right? The base is probably at like 10k players right now. You get a new game out, you get like 500k players back in, right? Shit like that. That's what they need to do if they want to bring back like big numbers, right? Big numbers. It's still possible to do it, right? Because Cyberpunk, it's a single player game, but it got people going back to the DLC, like a lot of people. After, the incident where it's like a shit ton of bugs, and it wasn't the best product at all. Definitely wasn't with the bugs. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see, right? I mean, I'll always be popping in on Overwatch, even if Stadium doesn't make me stay. It probably will, right? I mean, I'm gonna be going back and playing it a little bit more often, but even if it won't make me stay, like, it's just, the gameplay is just unique, right? That's why I went back from Marvel Rivals, right? Like, that's why I'm playing this right now, because it's just not the same. Marvel Rivals is a little bit more janky in its third person. Overwatch first person, the gameplay is way more smooth, way more balanced. So it's funny I'm saying that, right? Because we were talking about Overwatch 2 not being balanced not too long ago, but it is definitely more balanced than Marvel Rivals. I will say that. Yeah, shit like that. I feel ancient knowing Overwatch turns 10 next year. True. Overwatch is changing because Marvel Rival forced some competition, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's literally what happened. That's literally what happened. They got forced into doing it. They weren't thinking about 6v6 or all that. Well, they kind of were, because we were fucking bullying them for like the past 2 years after Overwatch 2 came out, right? But then they got that shit locked into motion. Like a month before Marvel Rivals was coming out, they were announcing tests, 6v6 tests and all that shit. And then now they got the third person for Stadium. Like, bro, we know what you're doing. And now they're having heroes come out every season, trying to emulate, copy what Marvel was. Yeah, so thank God, right? I mean, because they should have been adding new shit to the game instead of, oh my gosh, guys, another gazillion skins going to Kiriko. Another Dubaloons, quadrupaloons going to fucking Mercy, the fucking Reinhardt, Tifa, fucking Judo. And you look at fucking Venture, absolutely nothing. A year from now you're gonna make another video just like this? Probably. Blizzard stabbed us in the back with false promises. Overwatch will never be the same again. It won't. Right. I'm looking forward to it. It's funny, right? I'm looking forward to Overwatch 3, even though it's not going to be Overwatch 3. It's it's gonna be a 2.5. Well, oh no, it's gonna be a proper Overwatch 2, right? When we get an Overwatch 3, right? Every single update that comes from Overwatch 2 just brings more reason as to why they should never have made Overwatch 2. Well, no. Well, they're adding more shit. I would say Stadium is like the biggest thing that like sets it apart from Overwatch. Yeah. Have you played Stadium? Deserves it too. It's more of just. I get it. It is a pretty big mode. It's different from like you know, you having Clash and Push and shit, right? It's definitely like its own like area, right? You know, you got like the Halo menu, you got campaign, multiplayer, firefight, right? It's its own little thing. It's right in that category. It's right in that list, you know, fucking Stadium. So fair enough. Yeah, I call it Overwatch 2 off of that. Yeah. I mean, if they had these new maps and shit and stuff, then yeah, possibly, yeah. 80% chance, 70%, 60. But yeah, it's definitely a step in the right direction. So, Overwatch was over for me when they took away the game I paid for. Casino monetization shit, slowly. Munching popcorn, or shit show while munching popcorn. It's just, yeah. I mean, thank God there's the loot boxes back, but like, we shouldn't be saying thank God loot boxes are back. So we're gonna end the video right there. I've been recording this for too long, but what do you think about all these Overwatch new additions and updates? Oh yeah, and perks. Yeah, perks. I mean, besides them being in Stadium, right? Them being in like the actual competitive gameplay and shit. Yeah, that's. I would say it deserves the 2 after that. 80%, right? Maybe they add one more thing to the game, then I'll say, okay, it deserves it 2. But yeah, what do you think about all the perks and stuff? I like it. I do like that comment just said, like that last comment. Yeah, I do want Overwatch 1 back. Or at least I want the game that we paid for back, right? And they just fucking, they should have just made it a separate fucking disc copy or whatever, and not make it like it is just an update to the game. It was just a 5 gigabyte fucking update. I don't know if it was 5 gigabytes, but it was just an update to the game. It's the same. It's still Overwatch 1. A different UI format, and they changed Dorado from night to morning, or you know, some bullshit like that. They just changed the fucking weather and the daytimes of the map. But that's pretty much what happened on launch for Overwatch, quote unquote 2. But we're out of here. We'll see what happens in the next couple of months, you know. Stadium is still pretty fresh, so we'll get some more impressions on that in the future. And yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Shot at a black man and took his shoes. Customized my AR like a Black Ops 2. Just scammed a white kid out of some Gorilla Glue. I don't wanna fuck this bitch, she smell like poo-poo.